welcome back. Today I'm going to do a cold salad because Mother Nature's still drunk. It's like 80 some degrees outside. It's now then it starts raining and it's so humid. I don't want anything hot to eat today. So I'm going to a Frito Corn Salad. First I'm just going to get my pepper started that we're going to be using. And of course this isn't out of the garden. Stuff in the garden has not grown yet, but it is growing well. I'll let you go over to Cumberlachia Homestead, our other channel, and you can see the garden. I'm going to put up a video this weekend and show you the garden, everything going on out there, and of course all the critters. In fact, while I'm cutting this, I can tell you about some of the animals, because you probably don't want to see me just stand here cutting the pepper. But our lionhead rabbits are going to be 6 weeks old. The babies that we had, they'll be 6 weeks old this coming Tuesday. So 2 more weeks and they're ready to hop out and go find some new home and hutch for them. I'm going to dice this up kind of small. Our little Diana is doing a great job taking care of them. She's a good mama. She likes to get away from them every so often, but most mamas do like to get away from the kids every so often when they're driving them crazy. And these bunnies are just all over her all the time. Here's a picture of them all together. All 6 of the bunnies and mama in the back. She used to jump up on, we got a little nesting box in there, and I left it in there on purpose because I want her to have a spot to get away. But now the bunnies can jump up there, so she doesn't have a spot to get away. So she's got 2 more weeks of dealing with these little hairballs, and then she'll have her little house back, which I'm sure she'll miss her babies because every time I get one of the babies out, she thumps her feet and just sits and watches me until I put them back. And as soon as I go back in, she's right there checking them out, sniffing, make sure Daddy did. But she's been a very good mama. But we've also just finished another chicken tractor, and it's filled with silkies. Silkies that are some paints, some lavenders, we got some frizzles and a naked neck out there in that. And right now I'm just trying to teach them all to go in at night because they were taken care of inside the workshop and lived there most of the last 6 months, so they didn't really have a coop and a run, so they didn't know they had to go back in somewhere at night. Now I do have some frizzles out there, and they just started going in last night on their own. So every night around 8:30 I'm out there crawling around on my hands and knees trying to get them to all go back into their little hutches, or their coops I should say. I got my hutches and coops. I got too many animals, keeping them all straight. So we got 1 green pepper that you're just going to dice up. You don't want it real big and chunky, about 1/4 inch, maybe a little less. And then into that, this is just a dump and go salad. We're going to put a can of Rotel. And I'm using the mild. I didn't know how spicy the spice was going to be this time. I got 1 can of black beans. We're going to use 2 cans of corn. That's where we get the name the Frito Corn Salad. And let me show you my little trick. I showed you this before. Say using can opener if you want to be able to use these lids instead of breaking them down. Get the peppers off my fingers. I just put my hands on both sides and lift, and it unseals it. There's 1 can of Mom's corn, and there's the other. Now I'm just going to drain off this fluid. You can definitely use any canned corn you want. Frozen corn would be fine after you thaw it. I think what would be really good in this is a couple roasting ears, corn on the cob, and grill them up on the grill, get them charred, and then put them in here. I think that'd be really tasty. So I'm going to put in my 2 cans of corn, or 2 jars of corn. And yes, I think we gotta get a bigger bowl. Which any of you that follow me, you know I always do this. So let me get something to stir with. It'll go down a little bit with me stirring it. Those colors already are looking great, and they smell great too. Now I'm going to put a little salt and pepper on this. You don't need a lot if you're using canned corn, unless you're using low sodium. So you're just going to do this to taste. And of course the Rotel, unless you get low sodium, it has salt in it too. I'm just going to bring that all together. Give that a little taste. I could eat that on its own. Okay, then the recipe calls for about a cup of cheddar cheese shredded. I actually got a Mexican queso quesadilla cheese shredded. And I'm going to put about a cup, maybe more. Actually, how many ounces is this? It's 8 ounces. Last time I checked, 8 ounces was a cup. So I'm just going to put it all in there. Of course, 8 dry ounces and 8 fluid ounces, they're different. But I like cheese, so we're just going to put it all in there. Get that mixed together. And that whole bag of Fritos is not going to fit in here. So I'm going to have to get a different bowl. A little bit larger, and I'll be right back. Okay, I got a bigger bowl, a lot bigger bowl. But this way, I don't have to worry about it overflowing. Get all the goodness out of here, so don't waste any of it. I do more dishes of just redoing things. All right. Set that there in case I need it. So we got the corn, the peppers, the black beans, and the cheese all mixed in here. Now we're going to put together the dressing. I'm going to set this right over here. Get this knife out of the way. We're going to use about 3/4 of a cup of sour cream. I'm going to just use a quart jar after I make a mess here. All right, that's about 3/4 of a cup. All right, so we've got about 3/4 of a cup of sour cream. We're going to put about a tablespoon of olive oil in there. That's just going to thin it up. Put about a teaspoon of garlic powder. Maybe half teaspoon if you don't like garlic powder as much as I do. About a half a teaspoon of cumin. I'm going to put some red pepper flakes in. This is totally optional, but I want a little heat, and since I use the mild Rotel, I'm going to put a few of these in there. They never come out that way. Let's just sprinkle them in. In a cold salad that you're going to eat right away, these are great. If you're going to put it in hot and you make it in the sauce and such, any kind of sauce, that heat's going to spread throughout the entire thing. This, they'll keep the bite just right where it's at. It's not going to spread through the entire thing right away. We're going to do some salt and pepper. Okay, get that all mixed together. I'm just going to give that a little taste. I think it needs some more salt. And this salt, for some reason, is not coming out real well. I think it got a little too humid. Still going to get the salt box out. Salt in there. Now there's going to be salt on those chips, so you don't need a whole lot. I'm going to put a little more pepper in there, give it some fire. You know what? Now I'm just going to bring this over here. Get these spoons out the way. Get me a spatula and just get all this goodness out here. Like I said, it is actually, well, it's still sunny. We're supposed to get some storms this afternoon, really severe ones, later this evening. We've had a bunch coming through East Tennessee the last few months. It's been kind of crazy. We've had tornadoes east of us, west of us, south of us, and north of us up in Kentucky. We have had a few more trees come down, but these old are just apt to do that. All right, as you can see, I got it all mixed together. Got that sauce all throughout, the creaminess. I'm gonna give it another taste now for salt and pepper. Gonna be out of spoons here shortly. That's good. Now always wait to put your Fritos in just before you're going to serve it, so they don't get soggy, because they're going to absorb all this creamy moisture in here. So now I'm going to use, and it's an 8, well, it's supposed to be a 9.5. The recipe says 9.5 ounce bag. Bags are down to 9.25. Price is going up and the bags are shrinking. I'm going to crush just a few at the top and leave the rest whole at the bottom. Put that all in there. Now you could definitely add some chicken to this, grilled chicken, some shredded chicken from rotisserie chicken you pick up at the store, or you do yourself. That would make it a complete meal. Get you some protein in there. All right. Clean that all off. And there's our Frito Corn Salad. One more spoon so I can give it a taste. Get some corn on there, some peppers, gotta give me a black bean and some cheese. That's good. Nice and cool, refreshing. Don't have to deal with this hot humidity, stove's not on. Y'all give this one a try, it's real easy. I put some more recipes for summer salads at the end of the video. There'll be a link to all of our summer salads that Mom and I have been doing. So if you want some more salads like this, you can get that. So I'll put the playlist there. And don't forget to go over to our website, gregs-kitchen.com. It'll have this recipe, and it'll have all kinds of other recipes that you'll be loving to try. I'm actually going to try to start doing more recipes from there. I've been doing this website for about 10 years or more, actually a lot more, 12, 13 years. So I'm going to start doing some of those recipes that I was doing before I got on YouTube. But until next time, y'all take care. Thanks for joining me in my kitchen, and God bless.